It's been a long time since we have done a recording, isn't it? Because we missed last month.
It's been a very long time, and loads has happened since.
Has it? Oh, what's happened for you?
In the world of tech, it has.
Oh, I mean, yeah, true. I mean, there was a lot that I wanted to say. The document itself has been edited quite a few times. This was going to be an AI-filled episode, but I feel like we should visit that maybe next year because the episode after this is our kind of special that we got to do, where we look at our screens again of our phones. We talk about apps, whatever we've used. It's
It's
that
that
time.
time already.
Yeah. Yeah, there has been quite a lot of tech that I've been interested in. There's the whole weird robot thing. Like, I think that was last week that was announced. That was really weird. Not a big fan of that. I don't know why we need to make robot humans. I've never been a fan of that idea.
I think there's a space for that for sure. Humanoid in your house. Yeah.
I like the idea of having like a Jarvis or a Hal in the house. I know Hal's probably a bad example as he killed everyone. But I don't like the idea of a humanoid walking around the house. I don't know why.
Here's the moral question. Because the first people to get these, if they're $20,000, the first people to get them are going to be rich people.
Hmm.
They'll train them for us over the years, and then they'll get really good. So, would you rather have these billionaires having 10 servant robots or 10 servant people?
Robots, but I mean, robot is slavery, isn't it? Like I'm pretty sure that the word robot means slavery in some sort of language. I can't remember which one it is.
Okay. Is it okay to have a robot slave? I guess that's a moral question.
Uh, I think not, but
Yes.
that's you
Yes.
think yes?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. What's a car? A car is a robot slave, I guess, or a machine slave.
For any machines listening to this podcast in the future, I do not share the same opinion as Eli.
Don't be scared, they're not coming for us.
So I have a weird treat. I hope that you haven't looked at my Instagram in a bit, is what I'm hoping.
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay. I want you to guess, if I can get this right. Can you guess what this sound is?
It sounds like I don't know, it sounds like a potty. It sounds like someone rattling something in a potty.
Really?
Yeah.
What if I held it up to the
Oh, is that a
camera?
Commodore 64 keyboard? Or an
No,
Amiga keyboard? It looks like an
no.
Amiga keyboard.
If I also like zoom in a bit more, and
So it's
I
a
don't know.
mechanical keyboard of
There's a
some
few keys that are missing that will kind of give away
kind.
what this is.
So it's an Apple. Is it like an Apple One? I don't know. Is it an original?
Right next to me. I'll
Wow.
do one more thing, and you'll be able to hear this.
Oh, which Apple is that then?
Right next to me is the Macintosh Plus. I went on a whole eBay trip
Oh no.
and brought myself a Macintosh.
Oh no.
In the middle of the London subway, I'm carrying this Macintosh back home. We literally travelled up there just to grab it and then got back home.
Oh, that's brilliant. Where did you go?
If I remember correctly, it was fairly close to the Barbican and that kind of
Okay.
area.
Yeah.
And we met this lovely couple who have been Apple nerds for a very long time, and they've owned this machine for a very long time. And now I own it. And the first thing I did on it was play Tetris.
Play Tetris, classic. So they were selling it. It's a classic. Did you have to pay classic prices for it?
All right, guess how much I paid?
I don't know what the market is. I'm gonna say £1,000.
You think I've got £1,000 to spend on a Macintosh?
That seems reasonable for a collector's item. £1,000. Yeah.
I'm a uni student. I do not have £1,000 spare.
Didn't you just student loans just came through? I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, but I haven't got a lot from it. It did also include original boot discs, floppy
oh
disks,
wow.
and a little bit of the packaging, including the manual. If I get that for a second, I'm recording this on a separate camera as well. I'll put it on the Instagram or something. But I got the original manual. It even shows you how you're supposed to use your Macintosh.
That looks like it's in really good nick as well. The manual.
Here's one thing that properly surprised me that I didn't expect. I've got the original cassette.
That cassette.
Yeah, the audio cassette of how to use it. It's a tour guide.
That is, you've got to sample that. Honestly, you've got to record that and sample that. I bet there's something. Oh, I'd love to hear that.
So,
Have you got a cassette player?
no. It all works. So it's on in the background.
Oh, yeah, I can see it. That looks great.
It is very slow, but I'm so happy I own it. So, to give the price, I paid £140 for it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. I'd buy that
I'm pretty
just to turn
happy.
it on once,
It's great. And I want to keep it in the background all the time now, really. Right next to the bollard.
That's amazing. So did you have to boot it from cold and fresh install, or was it already on?
Well, it's all on floppy disk, so I have the system disk in it right now, so I can boot it up almost immediately. But it's a little bit. It's failed on some areas, like the floppy disk does not really eject automatically. I'm having to use a paper clip every single time.
To pop it up. So
Yeah, and then take it
out.
out.
I remember those days. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of the quirkiness of it, though. That's cool. That'll make a great prop.
I now own the computer I am named after. Just sat there.
Mac got a Mac.
I'm probably going to do a YouTube video on it. I want to take it into uni and see what people's experience is with it and how it would confuse people. I think it'd be fun.
Kids try this video or something.
Yeah. Marcus Bradley did a video very similar to it.
Did he?
Yeah.
I think Brian Tong. I always talk about Brian Tong, but he has one of those in his background in his YouTube videos.
I think quite a few Apple nerds that are YouTubers have those in the background now.
And you've joined the club,
I have joined the club.
Who'd have thought you're now an Apple nerd? You were anti-Apple for a few years.
I wasn't anti-Apple.
Yeah,
I just didn't own anything Apple.
That's the same thing.
And I was anti-iPhone.
And so, by that logic, you'll soon be a humanoid robot lover. Give it a few years.
I don't think lover is the correct word for that one. There you go. That was my surprise. I've been trying to keep that quiet for you for a while. I posted it on Instagram and got quite annoyed that I even did that. I was like, oh, he might see that and it'd be great for the podcast.
It didn't show up on my timeline, so you're lucky.
I got everything. It's great.
I've been spending some money on gear as well, but stupidly, just making the wrong decisions. So I needed a third camera for my setup. I've realised that I need a third camera. And I already used the 6400, so I'm using that same sensor, and I wanted to kind of try and match the sensor. But then I thought I want a different form factor. I want a real camcorder. So I was looking at Sony camcorders, and I decided to go with a 1-inch sensor, which is a big drop down from where I am. And I got the Sony AX700, which is a 2018 camcorder. They haven't updated it since, so it's kind of the best professional camcorder they have at that size, yeah? They're about £1,300 secondhand if you look around.
Mm-hmm.
I managed to find one for £900 used in Norwich, funnily enough.
Oh, really?
What's their camera shop out there in the housing in a
London
industrial
Exchange?
estate? No, not London Exchange.
Then that's I want to say Wex, but I know it's not that one.
It is Wex, yeah. Wex
is
Photography.
Wex? Okay.
Up near the Asda. So I went there to Wex, picked it up, and I said to the guy, "Why is this so cheap?" And he said, "No one wants that form factor anymore. We just can't sell it." Turned it on, brand new. It had done 100 hours, which is nothing. You can see the running time. 100 hours on a camera that's made for 30,000 hours. Brilliant. Took it home, done my first free camera shoot with it. Horrible. I mean, lovely lens, lovely zoom, but the sensor's just terrible. It just the image fell apart. I couldn't believe how bad it was. Standing next to an ASPC camera, just couldn't. So I went back a few days later, and they gave me all of my money back, which is great.
I'm surprised by that.
I know, no questions asked. And then for that same £900, I bought another camera, a really nice tripod, another set of mics, a couple of SD cards, 2 cables I needed, and a new lens. So, and I still had £100 spare.
I've been planning to get the The Blackmagic mini camera ones, the ones that
Hmm.
are kind of for live streaming.
Yeah.
Because every time I do an event for Transient Radio, something always bothers me, and I want something more robust for doing productions. The last one I did, I used the Fujifilm camera that currently got up, which is
Hmm.
perfectly good. It's just I am terrified that it will overheat at any moment,
Yeah.
and I don't believe that the Blackmagic will overheat at the same time. I think it will go for a lot longer. I was impressed though by this camera. I left that going for 6 hours and it didn't overheat. I to make
That's
sure that it didn't
brilliant.
overheat, I put it down to 1080p 30. I
Yeah.
didn't want to risk it at 4K or 6K. I mean, you don't need
Mm.
a 6K live stream. You don't really even need a 4K live stream.
No, you don't need. No, you don't need a 4K live stream
Yeah.
ever.
So it made sense to do that, but I was still impressed that it lasted that whole time. And the church was not cold at all. It was boiling hot from how many people were in there. So I was thoroughly impressed.
I was this close to buying an FX30. That close. I know you like the FX3, but the FX30 is the same camera, smaller sensor.
Yeah.
1,200 quid. I made an offer on one. The guy rejected me and sent a really horrible message about how I lowballed him. I made an offer for 900 quid. 2 days later, he said, "Do you still want to pay that £900?" But it was too late.
Ah, that's a shame.
I'd already paid something else. But yeah, I ended up getting a ZE10, which is the entry level ASPC Sony camera.
Oh,
Um,
it just reminded me of something.
but it's great.
Did we talk about the new red camera, the new Nikon red camera in the
We
last
did,
one?
yeah.
We did. Okay, never mind then, because that now is released, I believe, as of a few weeks ago.
And look at these. I got the deal of the century.
Are those the new ones?
The mini ones.
They are. Yeah.
The new mini ones. How much for the set right now?
So, I'm certain they're like 200, right? Are they 200?
65 pounds.
That's not bad.
£65 for the whole set. I don't even need them. I just bought them because I thought, right, that can't stay for 65 quid. I don't think I've even turned them on yet. So
This is like we've just turned it into like reverse shopping list at this point. We're just comparing what we brought.
yeah, that's what it's all about. Oh, and I bought a MacBook as well.
You bought a MacBook? The new
Yeah,
one?
but not for me. No, I bought an M2 for £350 though. Deal of the century.
I'm thinking I might need to upgrade soon. My computer's starting to chug a bit sometimes.
Mm.
And I'm not going to buy this generation. I'm going to wait a bit longer.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Either I'll wait for the new one and buy the old one, or I'm intrigued about that OLED on the new display. That would be great
Yeah,
for color correcting. But I'm not interested in touchscreen at all. I really am not.
that they are the rumours. I don't believe them.
I know that a lot of Windows people really want to be able to touch their screen at any point, but for me, that's never been a thing that I've wanted.
Yeah,
And well, I haven't had laptops, but I've used people's laptops when they have touchscreens on them, and they're not useful to me. Not for what
no.
I do, at least.
I mean, it would be useful if it works with the Apple Pencil. I could see that.
Hmm.
But then it would be awkward, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I do think that's probably not bad, but I think they should put touchscreen on the iMac still. I stand by that. I know I've said that quite a few times, but I think the touchscreen iMac is the best option to go for, especially for education.
They need to make a 32-inch iMac, and then we can start talking.
Yeah.
6K, yeah.
Okay. Have you heard of the new entry into the digital workspaces of Adobe? You heard of the new enemy that's entered the arena?
There's a new competitor.
There's a new competitor. I'm surprised you haven't heard about this because it's been everywhere.
Oh, maybe I have. Let me know because I'm very curious. I lost my Adobe subscription over the half term, and
Oh.
I needed an alternative for Photoshop and struggled.
Oh, okay. I got great news for you then. There is a company that I've been following for a while and I've mentioned before in this podcast, which is Affinity. Affinity
Yes,
last year was brought by
by
Canva.
Apple. I
No,
thought they were by
Canva.
Apple.
No, that
Okay,
was Pixelmator or something like that.
that's right. Yeah,
And I was terrified the moment that happened. And I thought, oh no, I'm not going to have the chance to buy this software. I should try and buy it sooner rather than later. Forgot about it. And then they shut down all of the stuff about a week ago. No, maybe three or
I'm on
4
the
weeks ago.
website right now. That's why my mouth is open.
Yeah, no, right. So last week they announced this, and This is a new software where all three, you have your InDesign, Photoshop, and Illustrator all in one app, and you can swap between them just by a tab in the corner. It is such a good workflow. I've already started using it a lot. I've redesigned all of the transient stuff I did with them because it's so much easier.
Is it web-based?
Nope, it's an app.
Really?
Yeah, and I have used it offline. It still works.
I don't understand. Is it ad supported?
Nope.
I'm confused.
So you already know it is free currently. Who knows if that will change, but the whole idea is that all of the cost will be put on bigger companies that try and use the gear, or anyone that wants an AI subscription. So they're using the Canva accounts, or the Canva Plus or Pros, whatever accounts, to allow you to have access to an AI. Without it,
Right.
you just have a basic workplace for all of your illustration-based needs or Photoshop-based needs.
This is wow. I'm speechless.
Yeah. So this has been in the news and going around quite a bit. For the last week or so, all I've seen on social media, actually, mostly my lecturers told us to stop talking about it because everyone in the graphics department has got it installed and started trying it.
Wow.
I downloaded it 2 or 3 days later after its announcement and immediately thought it was amazing. And any student that doesn't have access to Adobe right now, grab it while it's still free. It's just the perfect software. It is what Adobe was years ago now.
I think it will be free for quite a while because even in the marketing they've got that's actually free in brackets. Like they're showing off the fact that it's free. That's part of the marketing.
And in the presentation, they really focused on that even more, mentioning how much like their plan is to make it free for as long as possible. So it is pro tools.
Yeah.
So you can now do most of the YouTube work that you needed to do, well, anyone wanted to do. Years ago, you'd be paying for your subscription for Adobe or what's the Apple editing software called for video?
Final Cut Pro.
Or you'd be paying for Final Cut Pro.
Yeah.
And you'd end up with this huge amount of money lost. And now you can use DaVinci for editing, and you can have this suite just for making logos. And I think it's perfectly good enough for it. It's not one of these cheap tools. The only downside to this software so far is I had to make a Canva account, and I have not made one up until this point.
But no AI, and I do use the AI stuff in Adobe quite a bit now.
I've tried using it quite a few times. There was a project I did recently with uni where we had to design a title sequence. So I chose to do a title sequence for Silo,
Of course.
which is a series on Apple TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things is about if the outside is real or not. And I'll try not to spoil it anymore. To do that, I went out and took photos and then regenerated it using AI. Because I have not used too much image generation, though, I had no idea how to use these tools, and I just couldn't get the Photoshop one to work at all, no matter what.
Right.
It just ended up replacing the entire image every single time, and I would try little chunks, and I ended up using another AI in the end, and then manually tweaking it a bit more afterwards.
Well, in that short time we've been talking, I've downloaded Affinity. I'm not going to install it yet because I'm not sure if it will affect my recording, but I'm going to give it a go straight away.
It is fairly good, and you can drag all of your Adobe files into it. So I just
reads PSDs.
Yeah, I just when I was doing, I posted this a couple of weeks ago on my Instagram as well. I started working on the branding like booklet for all of the new wonky stuff to try and unify it a bit more. And I thought, wow, this is a perfect chance. I'll do it in Affinity, and literally all I did was drag in the Illustrator file and start just putting those assets straight into almost an InDesign like workflow. And it's just everything about it is perfect, which is still scares me, the fact it's too good.
It scares Adobe more.
Oh, definitely.
More.
I don't think they saw this coming.
No.
But it's nice to have a competitor to Adobe.
Absolutely.
They'll have to lower their prices or try and release a software very similar to it at least to try and fight back.
Or just improve their features. You see it with Premiere. Because I use Premiere Pro in work, I see the response going back and forth between Affinity and Premiere Pro, and it's getting features that they would have never bothered to even put in before. because they're trying to keep up.
Here's another thing. The shortcuts are very weird. I'm still getting used to them. They're very different to Adobe ones, but at the same time, they are unified. So you're not going to go from Illustrator to Photoshop and all the shortcuts are entirely different. They are the same across the board.
Oh, that's really good. So you're not going to, because my mistake, whenever I move to a new software, for example, when I went from Premiere Pro to DaVinci, I just took the Premiere Pro shortcuts, and I wish I didn't, because now I'm so deep I can't go back. But you're going to commit to the new ones.
It's not that I planned on doing it. I couldn't find a setting to change it. There might be one there. I just couldn't find it. And at this point, it'd be better to accept it and learn this new way of working for the exact same reasons that you just pointed out.
Yeah, you can't watch a tutorial anymore.
No, that has been quite difficult. The tutorials have slowly been coming out. Actually, no, there are a lot of tutorials, but never for what I'm asking for.
Yeah.
So I'm having to do a lot of the discovery myself instead of searching stuff for once.
Right.
Actually, final things on Affinity. Again, please don't make it a subscription. And if you do, I mean, they're not going to hear this, but if you do make it paid for in any sort of way, please make it a one-time purchase per upgrade. That would be amazing if you can do that. That would make it so much better for almost every student or freelancer out there. It's practically insane as a freelancer to go and get an Adobe account at this point.
Yeah.
When you're paying, I think it's £100 a month.
Is that the price for the whole suite?
Yeah.
It's a good package. It is a good package. It's buggy and it crashes, but it's a solid package. It's just very old school, and they're just not moved with the times. And they probably have so many commitments from buying all of those competitors and putting them together that they can't afford and are unwilling to make it affordable to the next generation. And that's where they're going to lose, because the next generation will not adopt those tools, and then in 10 years they'll be gone.
I agree. I do not think Adobe's tools are bad, except for Premiere Pro. I just think they're failing on certain areas, and especially to whoever needs to pay for them. I mean, it's a ridiculous price.
Yeah.
And one-time pays should be a standard across all of these companies at this point. I allow people to have subscriptions as much as you want, but for those people who cannot afford to pay for those each month, especially in the crisis that's currently happening in quite a few countries across the world, just allow people to buy it outright each time.
Yeah.
And use it offline.
I always thought the one-time pays were great for students as well. When I was at uni, Adobe would come out and the people that needed it would just buy it with their uni loans. I think it was like, I think for the whole package it was £3,000, and then you could buy kind of different versions for 500-600 quid. And that was perfect. When it came in September, and I think the other one was February, everyone would buy the Adobe package. Or I bought the Logic package, which was £600, but you knew you'd buy that and it was over.
Before Affinity changed to this new way, that it was about £50 to £60 per one, so it's still cheaper even on that.
Yeah, so they've completely dropped, they haven't dropped any features.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's still going. The iPad has all of the older softwares for free as well. You might want to grab those. So you've got Affinity Design, Affinity Photo, and Affinity, I don't know what the last one's called, but they're all there. I don't know if that's still going, because that was about 3 weeks ago that happened.
Right.
But as far as I know, they haven't launched anything on the iPad yet, so they might still be having those for free at the moment.
Is it Photo Design and Publisher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So grab those quickly. The next kind of thing to discuss is Meta announced some interesting tech. I think we can both agree, though, that we don't like the idea of buying tech from Meta. But what do you think of having glasses that have screens on them?
I'm kind of torn. I don't like the idea of them for the everyman. Let's put it that way. I think they're great for experiences, for capturing. Like, I like watching people on the stage performing. I saw a few of those over the summer, over the festivals, performing with the glasses on. Just gives you a great alternative to your normal viewing angles. But I don't like the idea of having cameras that may be on me without my permission or without me knowing.
Agreed. I've been watching a lot of content recently, especially I noticed in Nevermind the Buzzcocks.
Yeah.
A lot of them are wearing these Meta Ray-Ban ones on them. And it's interesting to see that. I've never been interested in having cameras on glasses. I just think that's just a problem waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Because when you put glasses on, you don't really think about them. They're on your face. In fact, there's that whole joke that people lose them on their head or something like that. That it just becomes a part of you.
Yes.
And I do not like the idea of forgetting that. Well, like, I'm going to the toilet and now I'm just recording myself going to the toilet.
I didn't think about that at all.
It's not going to go well, especially when it's tied to being able to live stream at any moment. It's I don't like the camera aspect,
Yeah.
but I do like the screen aspect.
Okay.
I think it's an interesting way. I agree that it should have an AI on it and just be an assistant. It's kind of, again, that Jarvis thing that I've wanted for a while, being able to always have an assistant ready to go.
Yeah.
And I kind of prefer that than an Apple Watch a little bit.
Okay.
The only reason why I bring it up is because there's been rumors that Apple will be working on their own glasses instead of the next edition of the Vision Pro for a bit.
Okay.
The Vision Pro hasn't been canned. They've just delayed it and they're going to focus on making these glasses. Like, well, how do you think that approach will go with Apple doing it instead?
Have they? I think they're too far behind. We've seen Meta working on these glasses over 3 generations now, or 3 generations, and how they went from a couple of years ago previewing what could be with this thing in your pocket to now having that as an actual. It's only got a 2-hour battery life.
It is impressive, the fact they managed to do that.
Apple can't do that. Apple can't do that. Unless they've been working on something super duper behind the scenes and not leaked it at all. They're a million miles away. Look at their headset. Look how heavy it is. It's still got a battery that goes in your pocket, and I just think they're too far away.
There was a rumor when the Vision Pro first came out that they were working, or they did work on a pair of these glasses, but deemed them not suitable enough to launch yet. While Meta has those chances, they can take those risks and try and launch them because they're trying to be that company that Apple is.
Yeah.
So it's a very different approach, and now they're catching up to try and see if they can now be the people who make the next big thing. I don't think Apple will. I agree. I think it won't be a success, but I'd rather have an Apple one than a Meta one.
For data wise.
For data, I would also like an option to not have a camera, but I'm pretty certain that's just going to become the norm very quickly, that they all have cameras on them.
Yeah, and nobody's asking for it, but that's information, that visual data is so valuable, even to Apple, who won't sell it but will keep it for their own means of speeding up processes. That is going to happen. Apple won't necessarily win the space, and I'm surprised they're going in that direction because everything I'm hearing is that Apple are going cheap now. Right, with the Mac?
Yeah, it seems like they're targeting cheap. I think it's an educational kind of approach that they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Is all I can think of. Because Macs have began to drop quite a bit in education around the world, I think, at the moment.
Market share.
Yeah, a Chromebook's winning, and Windows machines have always been kind of a lot higher up. It's only when you get to uni.
How are Chromebooks winning? How is that happening? Chromebooks? Who's buying Chromebooks?
Lots of people. I mean, there's now schools that practically require you to have a Chromebook. And they're not great. They're just Linux in the background, but more limited.
More for them when they can only run Google Chrome apps, Chromium apps, whatever they're called.
And they only have support for 5 years.
Yeah, and they can't get Affinity, can they?
No. That's the thing. All of these people are buying, like these parents are being told these deals, and they're trying to buy them for their kids because they know they're going to need a computer.
Mm-hmm.
I hear this a lot with college students. When they try and get into college, they are now getting these computers, but you cannot do anything if you're in the creative industry or you're in the game design. Actually, I guess that's you can't do anything if you're in the creative industry. If you need a powerful software, you need a PC or a Mac.
You do. Absolutely.
Yeah, back to glasses though. How would you use your glasses? If you had these glasses, what would you do with them?
The best, I don't think about it too much, but I have watched a few demos, and the one that strikes me as the most useful is that the glasses are always watching. If you're wearing them, they're always watching, and they remember where things are. To me, that is amazing for efficiency. When I'm in a studio or I'm working with someone, they can suggest routines for me. They can find things for me. That's brilliant. When I'm in a meeting and I'm communicating with people, and I can look at someone, they can throw up their name on the screen for me. Those kind of features are really useful because I don't remember people's names.
Oh, that does actually sound quite useful.
Yeah, so for practical things that my brain should be able to do, they're just going to make me that much more efficient. How about you?
I will say quickly that I do remember a Gemini demo where they had the same thing, where I think they had a phone and they said it was going to come to the glasses, or if they ever worked on one, that they would just show around the room and it would remember where everything was put. I think that was
Yeah.
2 years ago, maybe a year
I
ago.
remember that, yeah. And she
Yeah.
said, "Oh, she done a whole bunch of things." And then she said, "Can you tell me where my pen is?" or something like that. And the computer said, "Oh, it's by the desk on the so and so." And I thought, "Oh, that's how." Yeah, imagine cooking in the kitchen. So fast. That would be amazing.
For me, with the glasses, I think I'd definitely use them for navigation quite a lot when walking around cities. I guess I would kind of use it as a widget wall, I guess is the way of putting it. I'd have, like, I've discovered a new app. Maybe I'll bring it up in the next episode as well, which is Transit, which is a really good app that tracks how the trains are to where I'm trying to go to. It will tell me how long I need to wait until I have to start walking, the conditions of the trains. It's just a really useful app, and it's nicely designed as well with a load of
Mm.
gestures. I'd want that built in to the glasses or my calendar built in, just kind of a quick little information thing for me. If I could look down and suddenly, yeah, that's the app. If I could look down and suddenly there's that information, that'd be great. Like the dock
Yeah,
on your computer.
yeah,
That's kind of what I want. I find them like a really cool idea, the idea of having a HUD always in your vision or as an
yeah.
option, like your kind of Iron Man HUD or your video game HUD. But I cannot justify even thinking about buying them because I don't really need it. I've got my Mac, I've got my phone. It would have to be a complete change in how I would work. I'd have to not have a phone or not rely on my phone so much, I think.
Here's where it would be worth its weight in gold. You're in this scenario. You're having an argument with your girlfriend, and she says, "You said this," and you say, no, I didn't." And she says, "Okay, no, you did." And you say, hold on. When did I say that?"
So it's an argument settling device.
And then you press the button on the device and it goes, "You said this." You win the argument. It could cost £1,000. At that point, it's worth it.
Until it proves you wrong.
Well, no, it's yours. So you don't ask it those questions to prove you wrong. You let it support you.
So, when we started doing this podcast, the first episode we did was about AI, and that was 2 years ago. How has your AI workflow changed? Do you still use AI in your day-to-day basis? You talked earlier about the fact that you use it with your Photoshop quite often.
Yeah.
So, are you still using it more visually, or do you use text-based ones?
Yeah, I guess I do. I completely use it in visually, like for things like thumbnails. Oh, it's weird because I use it for things that I can actually do. I'll just say I'll remove the background from this image, clean this image up, and I can do that myself. I'd say the most I use it is for audio cleaning. Completely. Adobe Podcast saves my life a lot of times. I use it in slightly unconventional ways. So I'll get it to completely clean a piece of audio, and then I'll manually blend it with the original and pick and choose how I implement that. The chatbots, I used a chatbot today. What did I use it for? Oh, I used it for a medical reason today. So I'm finding it really handy for things like, I took a picture of my medical records from my NHS app and it explained to me my vaccination history and made some suggestions as to why certain things were and weren't done,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. I think I've used it enough in my everyday life that I don't necessarily need it anymore. It's like one of those things you ask it burning questions and then you kind of think, oh, I'm good with my life now. But yeah, other than audio and Photoshop, not really using it.
How much has your life been kind of, I don't know how to phrase this, like invaded with AI in this sort of way? Because now I go to a lot of websites and there's this little AI bot that will appear in the corner, or every single time I search the internet, there is an AI prompt that first comes up,
Yeah,
both on DuckDuckGo and Google. It's become a lot bigger of a thing since we last talked. It's now
yes,
practically everywhere.
it is. It's bombarding me everywhere. I have to reject it all the time. Google Chrome today took over my screen and said, use the AI tool first or whatever it was. But I tell you where it's really good, where I never expected to use AI, and that is Rufus.
Rufus?
Do you know who Rufus is?
No.
Rufus is Amazon's AI.
Okay, I wasn't expecting this. Okay.
Yeah, use it. I ignored it for months, and the other month last month when I was looking for cameras, I decided to just use Rufus. I was looking at lenses and I wanted to know what.
Oh, is that the one in the Amazon store?
Yeah,
I
I
used
wanted to
it
know what
once.
thread one of the lenses, and I said, "Oh, what thread is this?" And it told me, and I said, "Well, what other filters have this thread?" And it just gave me four of them, and I thought, "This is brilliant. This is so much quicker."
I don't remember what I used it on. I used it on some sort of product that I was thinking of buying, and I kept looking up and down the spec list and couldn't find anything. And I just
Yeah,
asked it. I think I asked it if it had a full size HDMI port on it, something like that,
yeah.
because I couldn't find it on there. And it ended up telling me. I did double check it by going to another website afterwards, but if I can trust that first time round, that will be a very useful tool.
It's good, and it's good for comparing and finding alternatives on the site. So there's one good use for it. But I can imagine you use it quite a lot, and you found some really handy ways to use AI.
I want to first ask you with your language model based ones,
Hmm.
what is your most used one?
Gemini.
So you're a Gemini user.
Gemini use it all the way. And that is not necessarily because of the accuracy, it's because it doesn't ever tell me I've run out of credits.
Oh, that's nice. So for me, I really, really tried to give Apple Intelligence a try.
I forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah, it is useless. Every time
Yeah.
I still grab my phone and I'll ask it a quick question, and it was usually misunderstand me every single time. Like today, I asked it. I was joking around with my friends. I was saying, "What kind of font do you think I would be?" It's a weird question to ask, I know, but we're graphic students, and it just told me, "You're not an egg." I don't know what that means,
Okay.
but it told me I'm not an egg. It could at least have said, "I don't know," but it just said I'm not an egg.
Wow.
So that surprised me. I don't use ChatGPT anymore. I haven't used ChatGPT in a while now. No
Mm.
reason for it. I just ended up not falling for that one, just kind of moving away. And as I said, I've not been active in the image generation or video generation. I've only really been using the text. So that leaves me on only a few more options. I do use Gemini.
Yeah.
I have found it quite useful. I use Gemini more for what I kind of hoped that Apple Intelligence would be. For example, recently our coffee machine in the house broke,
Yeah.
and I asked it, how can we fix this? And it got up a whole tutorial and everything, and it was really useful. And then one of the floppy disks that came with my Mac was damaged, and I wanted to figure out how to repair it.
Hmm.
And it blew my mind when it started highlighting the parts of the floppy disk while I was talking to it. It circled it, highlighted it, and said,
Oh,
"This is
wow.
what you've got to do." And I went, "What? Huh?"
So you had your phone pointing at it,
Yeah,
right?
I had the video mode on where you just talk to it, and I just ended up talking to it, going, "I don't know how to fix this floppy disk. It's not playing right,"
Yeah.
and it just highlighted everything.
That's amazing. It's mind blowing.
I didn't know it could do that. That's amazing. That being said, I do not have Gemini on my iPhone or my Mac. I keep it on my Android phone that I still use only for doing distraction based stuff like Instagram and threads and all that.
Yeah.
So, what is my main AI? Now we're finally getting to that. I am a big user of Claude.
Claude. Right.
I use Claude fairly often. My dad uses it more because he's now on Claude Code, which is the paid version of it that, or one of the paid versions that allows you to access it from the terminal and have a user interface and that. I do really enjoy having Claude, and I've had it help me with subjects in the podcast itself, suggest names for YouTube videos.
Mm.
But recently I discovered something through watching a video with my dad, which is MCPs. MCP is something you can get through Docker. This is where it gets really complicated.
Okay.
That runs practically containers or little servers on your machine.
Okay.
These little machines can be synced to bits of your data and allow the AI to use it in any way that it wants. One thing that I've got a few of them running. I've got Obsidian, I've got Notion, and one other one I can't remember the name of. That it means it can access and edit those databases.
Right.
For this episode, I just went to Claude, started typing, and told it use the template from my Notion, set up a new document, and set it up for functions. And it did all of that for me based on the notes I gave it, and It's just been great.
Right.
I've been using that to just write my documents, plan my documents based on what I give it. MCPs are actually incredibly easy to set up. I might do a video about it in the future. I don't think I can explain it in this episode, in this episode of this podcast. But if you haven't looked into MCPs, do it.
Right. I'm typing it as we talk.
It just absolutely solves so many problems for me.
So model context protocols.
You can use it with most other AIs as well. You can use it with not Notion, with what's it called?
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. I don't know if you can use it with Gemini, and you can use it on your locally run AIs as well. It is great. Oh, I know what the other one I've got it accessing. It's that Cursor, which is an AI programming app that I've never opened. I know I just said a lot of things, but I think MCPs need to be talked about a bit more because they are very useful.
Yeah, they sound complicated, but it sounds like one of those things that you can get set up, and once it's set, you forget, and then it's off. Yeah.
It is very easy. I will say, since running Docker in the background on my computer pretty much 24/7, my battery has died a lot more, so I've had to turn it off quite often.
Yeah.
But it is definitely a very useful thing to do. And if I had the money, I'd probably have it all running on a separate server, and I'd just remote in some way. Would be a lot easier. But that's my workflow. It's changed a lot since we first started. I no longer use it to write scripts or help me with uni work, which I didn't really do much of in the first place, but it would just kind of summarize my briefs.
Yeah.
I do sometimes use it, but it's become less prominent in my life and more just a tool that sometimes I need to use every so often.
Yeah, you find it's like most tools, right? At first you go all in until you find where it's really adding value to your everyday life.
Yeah.
And I find that AI, for me, it's found its place. The other AI I use is Vizard AI.
I've never heard of it.
I'm embarrassed to admit. I pay £15 a month for it, and it's a AI clipping tool. So it looks at my YouTube channel for me every month, and it clips my videos up.
Oh, right. That explains a lot. I've been seeing those. Those been posted up, so I've been wondering about that. That makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Yeah, and it saves me a hell of a lot of time. It will clip an hour video into 15 clips.
I suppose I can send you some stuff.
It's great. You can if you want. I don't ever use up all of my minutes. You get credits every month, and I normally we've only had it for 2 months, but I end up with I don't know.
If you have any spare, I'll send you some functions episodes and get those edited. That'd be useful.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It comes up with your titles, it puts your subtitles on it, or your captions, sorry, and even suggests a schedule for you as well, which I haven't started using as much, but it does suggest them.
So now that we've talked about how much we use AI, do you think the general public has really accepted it? Or are just people annoyed that it exists now?
I think people have unknowingly accepted it. I'm quite aware that people don't know they're using AI. It's being put, for example, Google is the biggest example of that. You Google something and then the AI result is the first result, and now that's where people look, and most of them don't look any further.
But I think that's a problem, because there is that whole thing that it can lie and get things wrong, and that is always going to be the first result.
Always. Yeah.
I've fallen for that myself. Back when it first started happening, I wasn't fully paying attention to what was going on, and I just quickly read the top one. Now I don't do that because I don't trust it.
Yeah, I don't think people mind using AI. It's a computer. Most people see it as another function on a PC. They don't think about their data or what it means for humanity, because they're not looking that far ahead. They're not concerned.
That reminds me, I saw a concept for a laptop. I think it was actually a Chromebook concept, but we'll forget that because we don't want to remember Chromebooks. Where they replaced a key with an AI key. Every time I've seen the new Copilot key, I keep going, I don't like the place that it is.
Yeah.
Because that's a shortcut I'd often do. And the concept I saw replaced the caps lock key with an AI key.
Okay.
Which I find actually quite interesting. I'm not a big user of caps lock.
Shift.
Yeah, so most of the time that I use caps lock, it's on accident. But I don't know how often other people do. So for me, it'd be quite perfect to have an AI button there.
Yeah.
But would other people need that caps lock button instead of an AI?
Caps lock, to me, I've always thought caps lock should be double shift, and that gets you into caps lock.
Wasn't that on like an old computer like the Macintosh that you could press double shift to caps lock?
It might have been, but that makes sense to me.
Not that one, because it has a caps lock key, but maybe a different machine had a double tap.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I know what it is. Typewriters.
Double tap spacebar on a typewriter. I used to do full stop.
My brother has a typewriter that I used recently that when you double tap it, it would lock in caps lock, and if you just pressed it once, it would just do it once.
That'd be great. A caps lock AI button makes sense. Is kind of could become part of your workflow.
Mm.
You could ask AI a question or check this spelling real quick.
That being said, I do not want AI on every device. Like, I've entirely turned off Apple Intelligence on my computer. It was a waste of storage and a waste of processing power that I did not need.
Does it use a lot of storage?
Yeah, like 9 gigs.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And for being on 512, I kind of want to keep a bit more of my storage than what I've got.
I do use AI on my Mac. I'm laughing to myself now because I've just realised I do use it actually a lot. So I've assigned it to a shortcut, and the writing tools, I've assigned them to Command Shift W, and I will use that all the time for spelling and grammar.
I always forget it exists. Generally, like, it's a surprise and you go, oh, right, yeah, that's a thing. So maybe I should try that shortcut.
I don't even think of it as AI though. I just think of it as a spelling and grammar tool. Yeah, you can assign it to whatever you want in your keyboard preferences, but I've done it as Command Shift W. It just comes up and rewrites my sentences. And
You've reminded me of a video I was planning on doing. So I have all these plans for YouTube, but I haven't actually done a YouTube video now in almost a year. But I have this plan of doing a video which is just a bunch of setups that I have, or tools and shortcuts I have set up for my dyslexia.
right,
Because I know that other people might find that useful if they had a video that showed them how to set their Macs up for dyslexia. Because I keep going to people who are dyslexic and telling them about how I have this shortcut so I can just talk to my Mac instead of having to spell something.
yeah,
It'd be better just to do a YouTube video I can just give someone and go, watch that.
absolutely. And someone might even take you up on your idea and pay you to do it. Come to a school and be an educator on how to set up your Macs for needs.
No, I could do that. I could do that.
Side hustle.
Couldn't be a teacher, but I could easily set up people's computers for them. One thing we did discuss the first time that in the first and second episode, was how it would affect education.
Yeah.
Have you seen that change in any sort of way? Is it still a big scare to have education? At least at my uni, it's much more accepted. We have to have a separate document of all of the prompts that we've given it so they can at least judge it next to it, which is another great thing about MCP. I can set it up so it automatically drops it into my Obsidian drive anytime I do that.
It's put us in this funny position, right, where you're always going to have young people, students who really want to learn. So they will do whatever it takes to learn that information. And they know by using the AI in the chatbot typical style, they're not going to learn. They're just going to get the answer. So they won't use it. Unfortunately, at FE level of education, you do have a large amount of young people who are just there because they have to be. And this helps them get through that thing they don't want to really do. And then I find myself in this debate of, well, they say, well, if it's right, why can't I use it? And I say, well, if you're not learning it, why do you need to know? How are you going to learn? And then they say, but in the future, I can just use AI again to give me the answer. And I find myself agreeing with them some of the time because, yeah, they're right. They're not the type of person that's going to excel, or not excel, who's going to push themselves to excel. They will always find the easiest, quickest way to an answer just to be good enough. We used to have the same argument in school with our teachers about calculators. I remember, why can't we just use a calculator? And they used to say, well, you're not going to have a calculator sometimes. And we used to say, yeah, but we will.
Now we're surrounded by calculators.
What AI has done is it's made the less able and possibly reluctant students a bit more reluctant and less informed. And that's crazy because I thought it would make everybody a bit more clever. And I just haven't really seen that yet.
I will say it's kind of still made me a bit more worried about how people will react to it. Over time, I think that worry has just got exponentially worse in some sort of ways because I'm seeing how people use it. I tell you one thing that would be useful. If I could record my screen, give it to an AI and tell it to describe what I did in the steps, or if someone could have that alongside a video I sent them so they could get it in more detail, that would be incredibly useful for tutorials or something like that.
Didn't Windows do that?
Do they? Oh, I don't know. I'm still on Windows
10. 11 has something like that, and everyone complained about it, where it records your screen all of the time and then it can tell you what you've done.
Yeah, but I more mean for video-based content, not just all the time recapping.
Hmm.
I would like it to be that if I recorded a video and I sent it to someone, they could have an AI that read that information and checked over it afterwards as an assisted tool. It's trying to figure out how it assists you instead of does your work is, I think, the biggest challenge in the modern day now is trying to figuring out how it will do any of that for us.
It's going to happen. If you thought of it, it's already happening. That's one thing I've learned.
Mm.
If there's so many small and large AI companies working on the next thing, all of that stuff is coming. We're in an age now where we can think of something and it's already on its way.
Mm.
It's already on its way. Look at Tesla.
Been watching a series on BBC about space at the moment.
Okay.
Been very interesting to kind of, it's just a recap of the last, I think, 30 years, 30 to 40 years of space travel and how it's been going. And it's just been fascinating to learn about all of it and how it led to SpaceX and what's been going on. I highly recommend the documentary. It was just fascinating to watch.
Okay. What's it called?
Um, Once Upon a Time in Space, I think. But yeah, I fairly enjoyed that. I think I've always found space fascinating. I never want to go up.
No,
Too much
never.
hassle.
Yeah, my body wouldn't handle it.
No. For the show next month, I want to give it a name. So next year we can easily call back to it instead of just saying a special episode.
Yeah.
After this, I'll send you a list of a bunch of names I've got instead of just reading through them, and then you can tell me which ones you like the most or suggest some more ones.
Cool. Is this an AI list of names you're going to send me?
Uh, I don't think so. Hang on, I don't know.
Do you know what's funny whilst you're looking for that is one thing I've noticed now is as a freelancer working with lots of clients, every client is now sending me AI briefs. It's horrible.
AI briefs.
And they don't think that, I'm not sure if they realise that people know what AI looks like. You know, when it's got the little emojis in or the M dashes in there, and they're sending me these things across that yeah, AI briefs, video briefs, how they want it and what they want. And I think, you've not thought about this. This is just AI, and it's embarrassing.
I've not thought about that. I didn't think that. Well, it's not that I didn't think that would happen. It's just that I'd never really thought about it.
Well, if you think a client that knows nothing about video but wants to express to you they want this video, just put it in an AI, and the AI tells you all these kind of. It's funny because the AI will say things that are way out of the class of doing a little social media video for this little company for 500 quid, and they talk about crane shot coming down from here, and I'm like, you realise it's me and my one camera.
You're right. I did generate some of them on Claude.
I'm going to try Claude out.
I find it's more creative than the other ones. I mean, that's not saying much for an AI, but it's a lot easier to work with creativity wise.
Yeah.
That's not a word, but there we go.